All right, guys, so I'm actually not surprised that most of us struggle with maintaining healthy nutrition. And in my opinion, I feel that the reason why we do is because we essentially became part of a system. Now, what I mean by that is, growing up, if you think back to when we were in middle school and high school, we did learn about the food pyramid. I mean, I barely remember it. I couldn't tell you much about it if you asked me, but I do remember actually seeing it and going over it in my textbook. But I also remember that walking into the cafeteria, none of the food that was given to us actually matched what was on that food pyramid. So essentially, we became part of a system that taught us that you eat to remove hunger rather than eat to fuel your body. So that stuck with us, and it's really difficult to unlearn a habit that's such a big deal because we eat every day. So unless we take the time to learn and understand what certain foods do for us, then you will continuously fall into the same habit that you've had. So if your own goal is to lose weight and you find yourself, yes, you do good for say 3 weeks, 4 weeks or whatever, you lose the pounds. And then after that, you're like, okay, well, I'm done with the program. Now you go back to doing what you were doing prior to that program. You find yourself in this cycle. And that's because we haven't actually taken the time to understand the importance of what food actually does for our bodies. I can spend hours trying to explain to you guys the importance of it, but let's just put it this way. Most of us have, nice cars, decent cars, and we try to make it a point to put, the better grade of gas into our vehicles. Why? Because we know that in the long run is better for our vehicle. Well, think about your body that way. If you are fueling it with crap, your body is going to be crap in the long run. Is going to give you problems. You're going to start having to rely on medicines. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying get off your medicines, but a lot of the reason that we have so many illnesses today that we never heard of before is because we have been fueling our body with junk rather than what it actually needs. So we are having to rely more on medicine to do the things that our bodies were meant to do for us. So if you are willing to pay $75 for gas on a vehicle, then I think you should be willing to put in the same amount of money and attention into your own body. So to make a long story short, most of us fail in nutrition because of lack of knowledge. Not because we don't have the motivation, not because we don't have the time. We have the motivation, you have the time, because you're able to stay motivated for 4 weeks to complete a plan. So if you actually take that motivation to actually learn and understand what is actually good for your body, then I can promise you that you will break a cycle for yourself, for your children, and you will keep that weight off of you. Why? Because then it becomes matter of fact, it becomes one of those things. What do they say? When you know better, you do better. And that's such a fact, y'all. The more you know, the better you will do. So just like with everything else, is the same thing with your body. The more information, the more you understand what is good for you, the harder it will be for you to fall into old habits that don't serve you anymore.